guys, coming right back at you. So this is going to be an informational video in a way. This will be a private video, so if you've got this video, it means, one, I like you, two, we're going to be probably training a bit together, so I wanted to go over a brief description of what I'm going to be trying to assign you depending on what your position is in Crom's Chosen. So first up, we're going to be talking about our Dex players. Dex players, you are going to be the peeling group, and you're going to be the I'm too fast, you can't catch me group. But you're going to also be the ones in the back with the healers, and you're going to be pecking their healers. Well, our healers are, you're basically our CC defense for our healers, our backline defense. If you're a paladin, that's also a point of view, but if you're a paladin, you're going to have a lot of stuff you're going to have to do because you're a multi-tool. At one point, you may be tanking, at one point, you may be healing, at one point, you could just be a backline defender or a frontline flank attacker, you know, like, we have to see how that goes. As for my DPS, you guys are going to be either medium to light armor, maybe some heavy. We will need 2 heavy tanks that actually know how to play the game. This guy just runs in my video, what a dick. That will need to know how to play. Now, when it comes to that, it's going to be very, very situational, and there'll be callouts for such. But the whole idea behind our group is that we're going to be fighting outnumbered 9 times out of 10. And we're going to be using effective strategy, teamwork, mobility, and fundamental mechanics in combat, and the 4 just... We're going to be using everything that we can. The 4 key concepts of war, we'll go over that later. As for, let's say, dueling, that's going to be for us to build fundamental mechanics and know what does what. So, like, for instance, there are some abilities that you would want to block, and there are some abilities that you will want to iframe. Iframe is a meaning that we use in Dark Souls, Neo, and game. Even there's some in WoW. There's some like it depends, but there's a little bit different. But it's a very, very important aspect of the game that you must know. So when you're iframing, it's your dodge, right, or your ability to hyper armor and be out of iframes. I've died to an iframe in an ability before, because I didn't anticipate me not to land it before the iframe ticked. Iframes are very crucial in the ways that this game fights. Stamina is also a very crucial point. You may think that you're winning a trade, but if you're out of stamina, I'm going to overall win the trade because I'm going to ability CC stun you. You must watch your stamina. I know it's not as important for face tankers and zuggers, you know, like people that go in and they start this left clicking and using abilities willy-nilly, but it is very, very important that you space out your abilities and you pick them when they are situationally needed. Sometimes I'll use my stuns to cover my stamina regen. Like, if I get low on stamina and I know that if I don't get out of that fight, I will get CC'd, or I will end up getting caught in an ability that I won't be able to escape. I also use dash or charge as my mobility skill. Every class should have a mobility skill. Every single weapon should. If you are a tank in our Zerg, if you are a tank in our Crom's Chosen, you will be using usually Gravity Well, Charge, and Reap. You do not want Maelstrom as a tank. You literally do butt-fuck all damage, and you will literally just be wasting a skill. Now, when it comes to our light armor, medium armor players, I want you to use Charge, Reap, and Maelstrom. Or even if you don't want Charge, because you will have the mobility to get away, I would suggest another ability such as Void Well, or Gravity Well, sorry. This is the same. With the hammer, I want you to rock Shockwave, Clear Out, and Path of Destiny. Here's why. They're all 3 of them are different types of CC. When we go over CCs in this game, we're going to be talking about hard CC, soft CC, and immunity CC, aka hyper armor CC. When we go over this, we're going to go over which ones you can block, which ones you can't, and which ones you want to avoid altogether. So when it comes to Shockwave, that one with this ability right here, this is a hard CC. You cannot be knocked out of a hard CC because you get hyper armor. And when you get hyper armor, it cannot be interrupted. This also, because it's a hard CC, will break blocks. It will go through the block. Just like the Volt Kick, this will, if somebody's holding block and they don't know this, you can get an easy advantage in hitting them with a hard CC into a heavy attack. Along with any kind of CC in the game besides soft CCs, you want to follow up after you hit it with a very powerful heavy attack or a heavy non-charged attack, aka a medium attack. When we talk about medium attacks, we talk about things like this. So, medium attack, this is your light, this is your heavy. You see how long that is? But in between, you see how there's a grit and I don't have grit on my light? In between, there's a medium. Did you see the grip flash? There's a medium. This is something that after you use something like clear out, you want to utilize using the medium, not the heavy, because they will get out of that soft CC, or a toss, as you would call it. This is also a soft CC, but because it's not a toss CC, or in between medium CC, the hyper armor CC that I'm going over, it will get beat by this CC right here, because it has hyper armor. You will be cleared out 9 times out of 10. Now, if you ever see somebody approaching you with a hammer and they try to go clear out, I always pop this ability. Always. It gets you an upper hand, because it has more hyper armor than clear out, and it has a hard CC ability, so it knocks you out of hyper armor. That is very key when it comes to fighting people. You could also combine abilities such as clear out into a reap. That is also a really good strategy. So, now that we've talked about this skill comp, we're going to be going over combination skills in this game. So when we talk about combination skills, we're talking about group fighting, such as mage with axe, spear with hacks. Like, we're talking like basic stuff like that. Like a good combo I would say for this would be a mage and a hammer, right? Hammer CCs, mage walks up, does incinerate. Easy half health somebody. After that incinerate, the axe player, or the player like me, would switch back to his axe, read them back in, so because they're going to dodge, they're going to panic. And that's what you want to do, is you want to offset. You want to make them panic, and you can grab them and pull them back in. Now, with that being a factor, that could be utilized very well. Such as if you don't have Reap, you always have Path of Destiny to close the distance with Bloodlust when you swap back to your axe, because they will be stunned and slowed. Now, this is all a lot to take in, so feel free to watch the video again. But these are the basic things that we're going to be going over when we talk about our group fundamentals. We need to make sure that our people are helping each other. If you see a player that you know is probably out of stamina or getting jumped by 3 people and they are not performing well, or we'll say they're lower health than most of them, probably lower stam too, use your soft CCs to give them time to pot. If you are ever in a predicament where you are half health, you should always try to land a clear out or a path of any kind of CC that would get you time to drink your pot and re-engage. Anytime that you use a mobility ability in this game, you could reset the fight. If you do not like how something is going and you see that you're losing, you could always take the time to use a mobility ability to reset the fight. And you could also bait people in using this. I can't tell you countless times that I've dashed away and people tried to dash towards me or charge towards me, and I've caught them in a few combos, free damage, and they can't catch me after that. Just for the plain fact that I can CC them when they come at me like that. They leave themselves open. An aggressive offense is very easily disturbed and disrupted by a defensive break. And that comes into play when there's big Zergs coming after you and you lay down AoEs in the back line so they don't have all the time to fight you all at once. Being able to cut off a supply line or counter mages is very fundamentally important, especially when you're fighting a group. When you're fighting in a group, mages and their range should be one of the top priorities of the light armor damage dealers and DPS. Mages and tanks should be holding the Zerg, and healers should be helping the tanks survive. Damage dealers can help the tanks as well, but don't ball up. I stress this not just because I've seen it, but because I've done it. Do not ball up. This game is not about balling and zerging. That is a blitzkrieg technique, and it will be beat by any organized group. When you are fighting a group, try your best not to ball up. Sometimes it happens. Like, mistakes happen and you can be wiped because you ball up. I have multiple videos where you can see me get into a group fight and I'll be stuck in the middle and I call it the clusterfuck. But what I mean is, you get fucked. You will get there, you'll get pulled in, CC'd, void weld, and then you'll have mages dropping their AoEs, the fire's hitting you. You cannot survive that. And the only people that should be balling up in any predicament should be the tanks. Those guys need to be able to ball up so they can tank that damage. They have the ability to at least fight that kind of aggression with a healer. So they're the only ones that should be balling up. The only ones. Other than that, you guys should be trying to spread their enemy out. The enemy does not usually understand fundamentals of combat. And when it comes to this, you'll get them caught up in places where they'll overextend. Always be looking for the overextending combo. If I catch an opponent overextending, I will stun them and will combo ability them, and they will be an easy kill. Also, a fundamental numbers game. This game is a very basis of defeat and detail and concentration of power type game. If you don't know the laws of power and how the concentration of force works, you are not going to excel in this game as a shot caller. When it comes to this game, you do not want more than 2 people on one player. If you have more than 2 people on player, it influences other ones to ball up on that player. And when they ball up, there's no mobility, it's all CC, and it's just a gamble of 50-50 of who's going to land the best abilities at this time and do the most damage output and stop somebody else from using their abilities. It's just a fucking clicking game at that point. You don't want that. Positioning is going to be your utmost importance. You should be using your environment also as a way to deter and defeat enemies. When it comes to people, like in my video, Crom's Chosen. See what I did there? I put your name in here. The video states that when the opponents cross the river, we're going to cut off the enemy flank. What happened exactly is I walked across the river to try to bait them back to inside the river because it slows them. And I knew that when we did that, we was going to cut them off from the driving backline force that they had, which was 3 to 4 people. 2 people that we didn't lose a single person. It was 4 of us versus literally 10 to 15, maybe 20 people there. Not counting the people that was already running the missions with them. And we cleared them all out with only 4 to 5 people because Alexander finally came in later. And that is the utmost importance, is taking your fights and knowing what is an advantage and what isn't. Just like Julius Caesar does, and all the great generals before us, we can implement the exact strategy and knowledge that they did in real life to a video game in ways that it'll correspond. This is important. Now, when we do our training today, we're going to be going over different combinations, like I said, along with what iframes to use and what not to use. I'm also going to be very hard recommending people to stop zugging, which is, again, left-clicking over and over and over again until you've completely killed somebody or gotten killed, or just mindlessly face-tanking. Do not zug. In fact, focus your combos to be 1 attack to 2 attacks at a time. Click 1 or 3 times, that is it. Just 1, 2, because sometimes there's a delay when you do it, and you don't get the second hit like there. I clicked it twice and I only got 1 hit, so I'll click it 3 times for my second. So just keep that in mind. So 3 times for 2 hits with the axe, because mine's delayed, you'll have to get your own timing for yours, and 1 for 1 attack. I would stress enough to only go 1 attack at a time. That's free damage. Most of the time they're gonna try to attack you with an ability after that, and you can bait that ability out and have a free second advantage. Like you have an ability advantage at that point to reap them in, do some extra damage, and then if at that point if you don't have stamina, which you should have stamina, but if you have a predicament where you don't, you have your mobility ability, and that's out of there. You're out of there. You don't have to worry about taking any more damage when they just got all that free damage. So that's very important. To summarize and wrap this up a little bit, because I don't want this to go too long of a video, I want you guys to really take a thought process down in this game, since we're going to be using it a lot with how we fight. We're going to be going over the 4 main concepts that are talked about in almost anything. Let me see if I can find my book here. Yes. So I also keep a strategy guide, don't worry. So we're going to be going over the 4 main concepts of how war functions, because we're going to be going on a war soon. The 4 main concept is we got to know ourselves and our enemy, or at least the composition. We got to know your personnel. This is the most important, because when you know somebody and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of it. You know the whole slogan of Sun Tzu. I know you guys are so smart. And then the second one is we need to always be putting the defenders and people we're fighting into conflict. We need them to choose whether they want to. Let's look at this as a chess game, right? We want them to choose. Do you want to lose a rook, or do you want to lose 2 knights? Do you want to lose your queen, or do you want to lose 2 rooks? Like, we want them to make those decisions, so their thought process isn't focused on what you're doing. It's focused on how to stop you from, it's not to, their thought process isn't how to stop you from doing something. It's how to get the less amount that you're doing, but you're getting free amount, if that makes sense. You also need to know spacing and timing. There's been times when I catch people that use the hard shockwave and they don't know that Maelstrom outranges that. Like, the second hit on Maelstrom when moving towards a target will outrange that and pull them into your Maelstrom, which puts them in easy ability chains. So spacing and timing is very important, especially in group fights as well. Now, when it comes to wars, you need to know how to use items and artillery that also comes with open world. Be using your food buffs wisely. Be using your potions wisely. Do not Do not eat all 3 of your heal items at the same time. Space them out. You will need them. Make sure, because you shouldn't need to do all that unless you're zugging. If you're zugging, you'll know because you'll eat all of your pots at the same time. The only time you should ever take 3 when you're not zugging, or like all 3 of my F, R, and 2 ability over there on the right, the only time you should ever be doing that is if you are literally almost one shot. And usually that doesn't happen a lot because you should be positioning better. Always focus food as a regen for a regular regen. Open world travel and just in PvP you can pop it and get a cool regen. Your regen pot is a very good asset, especially when you're about to go into combat. You could use the regen pot, the orange one on my R ability, to pop, and it will heal you through damage. It will be it's like a food regen, but better, and it'll heal you through damage. And your health pot, that's just self-explanatory. You get below 50% health, you need a health pot. That's just common sense. Even a quarter of your health loses, I would still suggest the health pot. Just for the plain fact that you don't know if they're going to combo chain. Because literally, you can go from having a quarter of your health gone to being killed in a matter of a second if they know how to CC chain. And they know how to combo their abilities. Because they'll wait for you to dodge. Also, chambering your attacks too. This will also be brought up probably in our meeting. Or our little training session. Chambering your attacks is very, very important. If you do not know how to chamber your attacks, you will be completely blindsided because you'll be missing all your abilities. I have videos on this as well if you go to one of my abilities where I say asserting my dominance, where I'm fighting a pretty decent dex player and we're fighting, and he ends up iframing all my abilities. And the reason why he's iframing that is because I'm not withholding my abilities. So you see me move away from him, reset the fight, and understand through that entire process I gain knowledge. I gain that he's iframing. I gain that he's watching my timing on my abilities when I'm pulling them out. So I move left and I reap. I completely throw off the rhythm. And just doing a throw off of rhythm can win you a fight. And adapting to that as such. But that should do it for our little video here. Yeah, I probably can go more into detail and stuff. But this should be your key focus right now. Once we get to this and we start training, then we'll be able to implement these things and help each other out in that degree. Such as dodging 1 to 2 combos at once. Do not do 3 or 4 if you have another weapon. It may sound nice unless you're like fighting and you're actually using it. But if you're fighting like a positional fight, it won't be useful. Thanks for you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll get another one of these videos out for our training seminar and everything. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Every mage is gonna have 3 ways though, like you said. But like, I just feel like there are ways.
Oh, I thought you was in range with that one.
I gotta lie, with the build I'm going for.
Alexander, you know you're going to come in, you're going to throw the wall, and then the hit, and then the storm. And then Atali, pull out your bow, because that's your strength, right? Your bow, you know the ability that you're using, use that same one. Hold on, wait. Gotta wait for the call out, Atali, don't get too excited. Alright, Velocity.
Going in?
You missed the ice wall's initial hit, so I had to walk into it. So let's try that one
Did I
again.
really?
Velocity,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
you know the call out?
Yep. Going in?
Good. Look at that damage, dude. Look at the damage. It's deleted. It's literally like a second. Or iframe the Maelstrom. Either one is fine. You can't go wrong with it. You could iframe the Maelstrom, and the second attack won't hit you if you iframe it. But the second attack will hit you if you block it. So keep that in mind. When they're in Maelstrom, they are locked in an animation. So if you want to eat a chunk of health or you iframe it properly, that's a free Volt Kick combo. Does that make sense? So like this, for instance, I want you to just dodge this when you see it. You'll see my guy do a little fucking retarded spin, and then Volt Kick me. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, you mistimed it. It's okay. Just take some time. 1 second.
Oh, wow. That shit was fast.
It is. It's very fast, but you can tell by the way that my guy moves his axe, because he'll turn it this way. He'll turn like that before he swings it. And you'll hear the vroom, vroom, like you'll hear it come out, the ability.
Alright.
You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Good. You dodged 2 times. You don't need to dodge 2 times. Save that extra stamina. That's very essential, is to not over dodge. Don't be a mage.
Okay.
Because mages can block too, they just don't understand yet. And that's what I'm going to work with Alexander next. Alright, you ready, Atali? 3,
Ready.
2, 1. Good.
Come on.
You dodged 2 again. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's better to over-dodge than not to dodge at all, I guess you could say.
Big old pain in the butt. Oh, shit.
Good dodge. Good. 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 Don't do that. Don't do that last thing you did. Yeah, don't. Because see, if you do that, go ahead and do that. I'll show you what happens. Go ahead and do that to me. See how you're locked in animation and I win that trade?
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to do is lock yourself down, especially as a light armor player. The only time you want to use a heavy attack is if, like, let's say one of your cooldown, all your cooldowns, but one is like up, or not up, but down. You basically got like the stun from the sweep, or let's say the volt kick. You only get the stun from the volt kick. The other ones are on cooldown. If you volt kick me and you don't have any other ability, dodge behind me and then do a heavy shot or like a medium shot. Don't do 2 attacks. Don't do just a single attack, because when you stun somebody and you don't have anything else to follow up with, and they're still stunned, that's a free damage proc that you need to make sure you hit them with something that's good. Your best thing, like, it's a priority list. You ready? I'm gonna hit you with Maelstrom. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Good. 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 There you go. But yeah, then you would want to disengage. That's a good trade. Because look at your health compared to mine. You might have got hit with the clip to the last Maelstrom hit. Like,
Yeah.
I think, but you still did a quarter of my health with just your ability combo. Alright. So now we've done that. Let's go ahead and we're going to duel a little bit. No, we're like not duel, but like a mock duel kind of. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to throw at you. I just want you to counter it. And I'm going to remember, watch my character. This is all about getting an emotion of doing things and moving around. You're still getting clipped. Remember, you got to be looking for those abilities and you got to be ready to counter them. Remember, eat some food too. Make sure I don't just one pop you with an ability combo or something. Alright, remember, watch my character. You know what the abilities look like. You've seen my animations, so you know what to look for.
Gotta
Okay.
relog. Right back.
You're dodged a little bit much here.
I got a question. How did I get shot with an arrow through block?
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
can't be black. Okay.
You have small hands.
Super confused. Got shot several times while blocking.
That was a good dodge on the second one. That was pretty decent. Good dodge. There you go. That was pretty good.
Damn.
Getting better. Remember, 1, 2, 1 combos. Yeah, those are good. You're getting a little bit better. You're understanding.
We're getting surrounded.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
By people.
Where were you at, Atoli?
Over here.
Okay. After we're done doing this mock fight again, I'm a duel Alexander, and I want him to practice the same thing I'm making you practice, so he knows what to look for and how to counter it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So remember, look for those animations. You could all like right here in this zone right here, you can attack and then still disengage and not have to worry about much. You almost had that one. You knew it was coming. That was a good one. But you got trapped in animation. Remember to only do the coup de grace attack, because you don't have to unless you light attack, right? Only do it if you've got the CC. Don't just do it. That was good. You missed your ability, but that's okay. That was a good one.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't trip you.
No, you could trip me. It's just the reason why you couldn't trip me there was because I was dodging, but you hit me out of my iframe in my dodge. So basically, I missed my iframe, but I was already doing my iframe from the ability.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's like a Dark Souls. Yeah.
Dodging like midway. Okay.
It's okay. Take your time. You know the combos and what I set up for. That's what you got to be remembering. What does Reaper set up for in his combo here? What does my opponent do? You know. I'm closing distance. What do you think I'm about to do?
Papa John's in here.
That was a good one. He's back.
Like in the fort, or
Yeah, he's in the fort.
come on.
There you go. That was a
He's
good
just
one.
screwing around. He's
See,
not
you should
doing
have
anything.
comboed it
No.
with the trip. You'd have had a better chance.
Oh yeah. Rinse and repeat.
That's a good. You almost caught me. Oh, you did hit me with animation. That was good. That's a good trade. Oh, you.
Dodge.
Yeah, you missed it, but you would have had it. Totally had it if you would have hit that. I'll count it. Almost. Almost got the second ability. Good dodge. Good! Good! Atoli, you're getting better. Can you see yourself getting better a little bit?
Oh yeah.
So-
I never done duels because I'm so used to having open fights.
That was a good dodge. That was a good dodge. You're getting good at it. Now that all my things are on cooldown, that's when you'd want to start like pushing me a little bit too. But be very careful with that though, because I do more damage than you do. You know what I mean? I really don't like coup de grace that much. I know it hits pretty hard, but like it can get you stuck sometimes. Fuck you. That was a good knockout of my ability. You missed that one. See me with that one. Oh, I gotta go unlock the door. Hold on.
Yeah, I should probably invest in faction weapons myself, but I don't really care.
Good. Reading your opponent's important too.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten any of your M&Ms.
I can see the trash on the floor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I heard you eating them M&Ms.
That's good. Little tip for you too. CCs, your CCs that you have, save them sometimes in certain situations because if you run out of stamina, like you just did there, that was a perfect example. You was really low stamina. They can buy you time to get your stamina back. It's very helpful.
Hmm.
I see your babe. Good block. Good dodge. Good. What, babe?
Oh, shit. Now he's panicking. Now he's kiting. Still panicking. Reaper's dodging everything.
Oh, he's done.
Can't
Get
do
iframed.
anything, Incinerate.
That reap. That reap.
More tree.
So basically, they're same thing I told him. There are attacks that you need to block and know when to dodge on certain ones. You have a block for both your weapons, even though you probably never use them. They are very
I
helpful.
never use it.
It's very useful for this exact reason. So go ahead and dodge backwards, and then let's say I'm coming at you with this. Go ahead and block. You could block
I
that,
wasn't in
right?
time.
That's okay. That's okay. But now, blocking also can stop this attack right here. So go ahead and block at this attack I'm about to throw at you, the clear out, and then I want you to throw down your ice wall over me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Boom, I'm in animation, free ice wall. And that's just death.
Oh.
You see? Now for this one, I want you to, let's say I'm closing in on you, you dodge backwards, and right after your dodge, I want you to block. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So I'm going to come at you, go ahead and dodge backwards, block. And do you see how literally you saved an extra roll from that? You didn't have to double roll? And you
Yeah.
basically hit me with an ability that's a free damage for me to have
Because
to
I would
close
do that
again.
all the time whenever we were dueling the other day.
And I would
then you'd
catch
still
you
hit me
with the
it.
reap. Yep. And this is important. That's fucking important for a mage to know how to block. It's probably more important than a melee, to be honest. Because like if I walk up on you and I do this ability right here, go ahead and block, and then you throw down ice wall and shit, that's almost a death to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As long as I get it off.
Yep. Anyway.
Alright. I need to
Uh,
get better at this.
we
shit,
will.
though,
We'll
so
duel more for this exact reason, just later, because Veloster has
yeah.
a time zone right now, like a limit.
Definitely.
We don't.
Come back to me. Wait, hold on, really quick though. Let's just fight to the death.
Okay.
I should have blocked. I should have blocked.
You gotta learn not to block on your last stamina line. And that can also benefit you too. So like, let's say you pop down your sacred ground and you're low health, right? And you know that trading with me, you're going to die. It's not gonna happen, right? If you don't have any CCs, you can hold your staff and after you pop your shit and just tank that stamina damage for that extra heal shit. So like, if I'm hitting you, look at that stamina damage compared to like all that damage I'd be doing to your health. Obviously, when you're like right there at your stamina mark right now, you wouldn't want me to hit you again or with a heavy. You'd want to CC me. That should give you time to get your cooldowns back up to either heal again or CC. Blocking inside a healing circle is a really good counter to a lot of plays. Alright, so ready? I'm going to send whatever ability from the hammer at you, and I want you to do the proper counter. Remember, there's more than one counter to each one. Shockwave, there's the dodge, but that one's, you're going to have to dodge that one. Path of Destiny, you can dodge or block. Clear Out, you can dodge or block. So, the only one you really have to worry about is Shockwave. Just pay attention to animations. Watch me, not your character. Because you don't know what's coming. Good block. Alright, you wasn't quick enough there, it's alright. Take a second. Reset. I'm not going to tell you what's coming out, it's just going to come out. Can't block that one, remember? That's the one you gotta look out for, the guy who hovers in the air. When you
Okay, so for the one, I have to shockwave, like counter shockwave or roll?
You can, no, you need to roll. Because if you don't get the ability going off first, which your shockwave, you're not going to stun me. Like, I'll show you, for example, like, shockwave after I do mine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so yeah, so it's
a hard CC can counter a hard CC if it's done first. So, let's keep going. I'm not going to tell you what's coming. Just listen for those cues and watch my character. That's a heavy attack. It's not about like attacking, like raw. Like, cause I want to get my stamina up, I can knock you out of the way, I can CC you. Or I could just like go ahead and do that heavy shit again. Because you're stuck in animation.
Your
stamina is very important. Okay. Let's keep going. So, throwing out whatever, just keep an eye on my character. We're dueling, open world, I'm throwing. He wasn't, you gotta react. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. That was a good dodge, good dodge. Yeah, he's a little late on that dodge, it's okay.
Yep.
Remember, you don't have to dodge if the threat isn't already coming.
Damn.
Damn, Alexander, you getting your ass whooped by Papa Johnski?
No, we are pretty much going even.
Okay. Good block. Good, almost got the counter. If you're going to do Shockwave against my clear out, you have to trade it. You have to go Shockwave first. That way you trap me.
First?
Yes. Yeah, you either dodge Shockwave, that like if I come out with clear out, right? If I come at you with clear out, you have two options. You can block, you can dodge, or you can dodge too, or you can Shockwave. You can take the damage and Shockwave me, and then now you have the advantage because now you can combo your abilities.
Got it.
To be frank, I'm not really a fan, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat them. Good dodge, you double dodged. The second dodge you did, yeah, the double dodge wasn't good, but the second dodge you did was perfect. That was the one you wanted. That was the one that I framed it. So sometimes it's better to take your time and wait till the ability is about to land and then do it.
Okay. But will just one dodge get me out of range?
You don't need to be. If you're in heavy, you shouldn't be trying to get out of range. You should be trying to stun.
Okay.
Trying to get me away from you. Oh look, there's Flax Street behind you, but I don't think they're gonna bother us. Ready?
Yep.
Good dodge. Look at you. Hold on. I just about fucking choked to death. Oh god. Okay. So, my opinion is I almost died. Because I almost got stuck on my throat.
Girlfriend trying to kill you?
Oh, pretty good. Alrighty. Could be anything. Good dodge. Good spacing. That was good spacing. That's something else we gotta talk about later, but that is definitely good spacing. Does that make sense? So like if I'm looking this way, it's quicker for me to block and turn than it is for me to turn and block. Does that make sense? So like if I'm looking this way, go ahead and send Path of Destiny my way. It's better for me to look. Did you see what I did? I went boom, and I just looked over. So now you'll see what I mean. So just practice that. I'm about to send Path your way. See, you look before you block. You gotta block then look. Because look at how much faster my character moves with me doing that rather than me looking your way and then blocking. Plus it increases the chance that your block comes out first. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good counter. And then from that counter you can always land that one hit or another ability. But yeah. Alrighty. Remember, block then look. The minute you see my hammer glow any kind of color, that's usually an ability coming your way. Fucking dodge. You double dodge, but that was a good dodge. The first one would have did it. First one would have did it. Didn't need the second. Because after you second, I would have reaped you in. You'd have been pretty much fucked. Good counter. Good counter. Go ahead and use your life staff real quick. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I could be looking away and then come at you. No, you got good. There you go. I'm getting close. Remember, spacing is key here because you don't know what I'm gonna throw.
Fuck you. Why did I use that ability?
See, you gotta be aware of that. The little wow, like you hear the sound effects. Do
Yep.
you hear them? The minute you see and hear something like that, you need to know what's coming. Good block. Good dodge. We both did that exactly the same time, so that was good. I mean, it's better to have a trade than to get hit, right? Maelstrom Shockwave. You gotta hit it. Like you took 2 hits to the block. You just